3 of the clutch chess is just more pretext for watching the best chess players on the planet performing right before our very eyes. And we are multi-broadcasting. They should be starting any second now. I'm using the chess.com platform. I think they also continue tomorrow, the 28th, and the 29th of October. So we got these there's 2 coming days apart from today. And also, what is it? There's the Speed Chess Championship, I think, continues not tomorrow, but on the 29th. So we're going to have a look at that one as well. So now waiting for this formidable chess players, Fabi, Magnus on this round. Magnus drew against Gukesh Domraju, the current chess champion. Now we'll see what happens in the 3rd round. Let me go back a bit. Yeah, they haven't started. It's a 10-minute, 5-sec increment. So we've got Hikaru Gukesh and Magnus Fabi. We're going to watch them both. Absolutely, yes, sir. Thank you very much. You got time, guys. Go grab your teas and coffees and stuff, or Irish coffees, or whatever you drink to keep you a bit more alert. I'm just having some black tea, 3 sachet in 1 large cup here. I hope it helps. And if it doesn't help, then it doesn't help. There's nothing I could do. That's strong. Now this is strong. Really strong tea. Strong. Okay, where were we? I've forgotten. I mean, I haven't forgotten because it's right here, but it's just a way to entertaining the walls. So, who are you guys rooting for? Hikaru, Gukesh? Let me look at the results. Who's on the lead? Is Magnus 1.5, of course. Magnus second, Fabi, Hikaru, and Gukesh. Well, this is a rapid. So it's good. You can't say it's bullet or it's blitz. By the way, don't play bullet very often. And let's see what they do. Probably we're going to do a puzzle in the meantime. I ain't got a clue when they are going to start. Let me check on the schedule and see if there's any timing. Well, it's not. So it says round 1 to 3. The second had concluded. Probably they need to go to the loo and back. Or to the bar and back. Like, I've heard someone needs some relaxation drinks. So, I mean, it could be the case. No exception this evening. Maybe Magnus going to be relaxed now. A bit more relaxed. So I think probably going to do like a puzzle or something, right? So hello, my YouTubers, Facebookers, TikTokers, and stuff. We're going to cover this event. Shall we do like a puzzle? I don't see any moves here on the board just yet. Nothing happens. So let's just do like random puzzle. Random puzzle. Do you guys see it? Yes, you do. If you wonder, we are supposed to play something with the black pieces. And we are in check. Excuse me? We are in check, right? There's a couple of ideas. You either block or you move the king. If you block, what do you block with? Like, do you block with a bishop? Or do you block with a queen? That's one thing. Or you're just going to play king. When you play the king to d7, you're actually going to hit the white queen with the rook on a8, currently defended by the bishop on c6. So queen has to go, like where? It's not clear where the queen goes. I mean, it's not my problem with black here. It's white's problem. So it looks to be king d7, right? And I'm going to play this one straight away, folks. And yeah, let's just play it. I'm going to play it. Let's grab like 19 points now in the daily chess. No, that's not daily chess puzzle. It's just like a puzzle. King d7, that is. Ooh. Oh Lord, look at this guy. Well, that's another check. Well, I can't go back, that's for sure. And I don't block because it's just getting a disaster. After knight f5, bishop takes f5, checks the king, attacks the black queen. We are done. So we have to move king again. Of course, we move king again, and we're gonna go probably. Not probably. Certainly, we're gonna play king d6. King d6 out of check. I mean, we sort of have to, right? Let's play this. Oh Lord, this guy doesn't stop now. Knight e4 check. So what do you want me to play? I mean, like take queen or take with a pawn or what? Do I take with a queen? I like take with a queen, you know. You take with a queen. No. There is a queen to h6. Nope. I think we have to take with a pawn. We have to take with a pawn on e4. And then they might still do stuff, but look, we have to take that knight. Again, with the pawn, right? Please tell me that's true. Oh man, that's just pure luck. And a little bit of reasoning. Not too much reasoning, but I mean, yeah, okay. Plus 76 in the puzzle. Bingo, you've got it, says the coach there, the red hair coach. Nice. So let's go to Magnus and Fabi. Oh Lord, they didn't start just yet. What's the guys doing? Where is they gone? What's going on here? Already at the pub down the road? Irish coffees and things? Where is the boys? What's going on? Hikaru White. They're gonna be of great interest. Gukesh Black. Let's see what they do. Hikaru gonna pull a King's Gambit, right? Magnus. And what is Magnus gonna play? The Polish opening? What is that? With the b4, I think. Or the Grob with g4. Disrespecting Fabi, which in a access of frustration, and he's going to resign, banging on the chessboard, chucking pieces everywhere. Which of course is not going to do this. Even if Magnus plays b4, g4, he ain't going to do this, that's for sure. Absolutely. Well, oh Lord, I have to move this thing a little bit to the left, no? Because you guys can't see it. You absolutely cannot see it. Wait a minute. I'm still, I can still move things around here. Let me just a little bit like this. Like just a little bit like this. Cool. So you can see the names, you can see the time and all, and the board, and everything is nice and cool. Yeah, that is fine. Window capture and lock the scene. Should be fine now. Well, if you know when they start, let me know, people, because there's nothing happening here. Go get your teas and your Irish coffees and things. What's this? Okay. I hope I don't get sudden messages that compel me to move. Well, what happens if I do get them? Well, I don't know. I guess I don't know. Magnus and Fabi. Well, probably time for another puzzle, no? I don't see anything there. So now we're playing with the white pieces. And the coach says, white's play, find a way to grab material. Well, easier said than done. What do you think I'm a seer or something? Find a way to win material. Like, do we have to hit the queen or something? Like, do we have to just play a very, very, very modest pawn move, like a5? a5, assuming queen to, like where? Like if queen goes c5, I'm going to play b4, attacking queen again. Looks like the black queen is a bit trapped, fellas. So a5, queen c6, assuming. Well, but then what? Ah, I see. Ta-da, Eureka, knight d4. Attacking queen, attacking bishop on f5, and well, that's how you win material, no? I mean, yes. a5, that's the beginning of the end for black. Am I correct, ladies and gents? Let me know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I don't see nothing. It happens. There is days I don't see nothing and I'm losing like 20 bullet games in a row. I don't see nothing and I'm slow. It's possible. But now I have hopes. a5. Yeah, I like a5. Yeah, I think the black queen has compromised here. That's that. Well, I'm going to play it. In the worst case scenario, I'm going to be dropping like 20 points or something. Oh, Lord, incorrect. I put that after knight d4. No, queen goes d7. Queen, knight takes, queen takes. That ain't the move. Oh, Jesus Christ. Am I supposed to play first this and then? It might be a frickish Witzenzug. An in-between intermezzo move. Knight d4, you cut off c6. And after knight d4, you play a5, and then you do the real deal. So knight d4, yeah, sure, of course, yeah. It doesn't make any difference now because we lost already 31 freaking points. Yeah, well, that doesn't matter. Do I take, though? Let me think if I take. Well, if I take, I take. That's like a bishop. Yeah, I have to take. It was hard, says the engine. Well, not that hard, but definitely too hard for me, so I missed it. So now, assuming queen to d6, you're going to play king back to g1 or h1 something, probably g1, and you got one extra piece, and that should be winning. It should be winning, fellas. Back to Magnus and Fabi. Ah, Dios mio, man. They had started. There you go. Everybody was wondering what on earth they doing. King's Indian, okay? Normal variation. What is even normal anymore? In chess and pretty much everywhere. We fail to get a satisfactory definition of normal. It may not even exist, which is even more difficult. E5. So castles by Magnus. Pretty much theoretical, uneventful. I'm sure the guys did the homework better than everybody else. They know these lines even before they were born. Bishop g4. Okay. Hello, YouTubers, Facebookers, Instas. No, I'm not streaming on Insta. I'm streaming on YouTube. Twitch. Yes. Twitch, Facebook. There's 4 or 5 destinations. Watching this live, by the way. Let me check again the page. Yes, you guys see what I say. Okay, bishop g4, the last move. White's turn to play. Now you can type in your moves. I'd say, guys, don't ask the almighty Stockfish, Komodo, Fritz, whatever you have on your computers. Let's try to use our minds, our fallible human minds. See what we play. So what do you think? Bishop g5? I mean, like a pin is a pin, though. It can't be bad. Wait a minute. What about taking? What about taking here? Well, Magnus takes his time. This is move number 8, by the way. This is move number 8 for white to play. So, did he prepare something or he's figuring out now over the board? Normally, I'm just figuring out when I'm playing. So, I mean, some of the lines I know them. But, hey, where is the chat? Did I close the chat? I mean, I could do it. What did he do? A what? D5. He closed D5. A5 by Fabi. Knight to E1, challenging now the bishop on G4 twice, attacked. once defended. So what's black gonna do? Well, they could trade, or they could withdraw the bishop. Knight relaunches, knight to d3, and knight a6. Well, are we going to see a bishop g5? Not quite, just bishop e3. Because there is no knight g4 for the time being, because we got double power controlling the g4 square. So that just simply stops any knight to g4. The bishop on g7 is a bit bad. I think the last video I've uploaded on YouTube and Odyssey and all the social medias I'm using, which I think is way too many. Jesus Christ. So it was about a good bishop and bad bishop. So the bishop on g7, it's another example of what is a bad bishop. The bad bishop is blocked by its own pawns. He ain't gonna do nothing, and he can't even move over to h6 because it's gonna be captured. So yeah, bad bishop, bad boy. The guy on g7 is a very, very bad bishop. Oh, Fabi. White bishops, on the other hand, they do stuff. The bishop on e3 is a monster. Trading off the knight or c5, the bishops are monsters. White bishops doing very well. I wonder if white's going to play some f4 or h4, or it's just a bit too much. I mean, would you do that? After, of course, black going to take back. I don't know what. Would B, would D. You tell me. Probably not would D. Maybe would B. Yeah, would be. That's what I thought. Do you think white's supposed to play some f4? No. Only a3 by Magnus. Does he want to push b4 or something? You can't do this, no? Takes. No, you can't play b4. Oh, he want to play a4 and knight b5. Ah, okay, yeah. And when Fabi played h5 is because king h7 and bishop h6 being supported. So that's how you solve the problem of a very bad bishop on h6 on g7 currently. So h5 allows king h7, bishop h6. You trade off that bishop on e3 eventually. And the reason for Magnus to play a3 is because I would imagine he probably wants to play what? A4. Yeah, there you go. King h7. I said it. I freaking said it. Now, I don't know if you do a4 and knight b4. Do you? I mean, maybe. Nope. Queen d2. Therefore, there is no bishop h6. But knight g8 does allow. It does allow bishop h6. Again, I think Fabi wants to trade his very, very bad bishop. But there is another thing after knight g8, guys. What about f5? Sorry, but that makes sense. Of course it makes sense. In the king's Indian, probably that f-pawn has to go. Push the pawn, probably. Push the pawn, I think. Well, let's see what Fabi decides to play. If you do the f-pawn, I guess white can play also bishop g5. Attacking the black queen and things, but I'm not sure. But f5 could be definitely an idea. Amongst others, if you don't capture or something, I think they're going to push again. So I think the f-pawn is the move that we're going to see probably, unless Fabi calculates something else. But what is that something else? I don't see anything better than f5. I mean, what, like queen c8? But that's, I mean, I don't know. Bishop h6. Okay, trading of the bishops. Okay, goodbye, bishop. Goodbye, very active bishop on e3. There's gonna be no more bishop on e3. That's it. So that's the wisdom. Trade off your bad bishop for your opponent's active bishop. So now that's exactly the example, and I think it's clear for everybody, and we are learning watching these guys playing, and we understand as they move those pieces. Now, as per white, does white have to take? Well, Magnus took, so knight takes back. Again, I think we could return to the f5 idea. If they capture, you take back with what? With the bishop, with the knight, with what? With the knight, I think. But let's see. White's turn, by the way. Well, b4. Uh-huh. Well, takes, and takes, right? I'm not sure black gonna take. But if they don't take, I think white gonna push. Or take. Because you're having that. Yeah, they had to take. Okay, so rook takes b4. You could make a battery here on the b file. I think that's quite cool. Makes sense. Good. I like it. I didn't have a chance to look at Hikaru Guki. I think we should go and have a look at the other guys. This one is very nice and positional. This King's Indian. Very, very nice and positional here. F5. Hey, I've been saying about F5 since like forever. Since like 5 moves ago. Been saying A5. There you go. On the screen. But everybody pushes F5 in the King's Indian, no? Sooner or later. Can you not to take and play something like this? Because if you do take, I think black takes with a knight. It's a bit uncomfortable. It is, I think. I think it's uncomfortable because after that one, the knight could potentially coming onto d4, and that's the mother of the outposts. So you better sit down and calculate this one accurately. Nope, Magnus doesn't play what I said. He pushes c-par. No, after black takes, no, he didn't take, dude. He didn't take because he was afraid of what? Having isolated pawn on the c and a weak back pawn on e5. He pushes f4, grabbing a lot of space. Well, okay then. So are you going to play c6? Because that makes a lot of sense. Play c6 and then try something like this. I think so. So I think these are main ideas for white strategy and tactics in this middle game, going towards endgame. I like c6. I like doubling of the rooks on the b. I mean, where else do you want to double the rooks anyway? But no. He took d6. I thought you're supposed to play c6, but then again, okay, fine. Forces black to take, and then Magnus going to play rook b7. But the difference is that after rook b7, the bishop on d7 is kind of like pinned. That's kind of serious. Absolutely is serious. There's all sorts of dangers and pressure on the pinned bishop and this and that. Certainly, most certainly, if black takes on d6, yeah, we're going to see a pin. So step by step, positionally, looks like Magnus built up something. Rook b7, 99.99, that's going to happen. Unless there is something I'm not seeing immediately, like dangerous right now, you need to react to, but I don't think so. Very likely rook b7. Very likely. And that's, look, there you go. There you go. Rook b7. Written all over it because I understood when Magnus took on d6, I actually understood why he did it. And that is the answer. Rook b7. Yeah. Still, the other rook moving over. Unless he saw something else. There you go. I could say I play like Magnus on move number 24 and 25 and 26. But that's about it. Well. Do you play rook b8? I like rook b8. I kind of like rook b8. But then again, I'm not Magnus. Oh, don't tell me I've got those messages to go. Probably not. Okay, let me answer. Yes. I've answered yes. But I'm not going to go. Okay, I said okay. Didn't I say okay? I said okay, but I didn't press send, you say so. Oh, Lord. Sometimes you have to do stuff, man. Ay, 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 ay. Paloma. Ay, cucurucucu. Okay. Back to business. What is going on here? Bishop c8 was the last move played by Fabi. And the question was if you take on f7 or if you do rook b8. Rook b8 is strong, is dangerous, is nice. I like rook b8 very much. Like really, really. Does he want to play a very crazy stuff? I mean, even if it's crazy, it has to have a... Oh, Lord. What the heck? Rook b6. Well, okay. I mean, okay, I guess you could afford the luxury. The bishop is back where they were. Rooks are sort of like... Rook a8 is a bit of a loner. I guess you could do triple power. I don't know. You need to find the second attacker, or maybe knight to b... No, you can't do knight to b5 because the queen attacks the rook on b6. So he attacks the base of the chain, the d6 backward black pawn, weak pawn. So is he going to do queen d2, queen b4? I don't know. Maybe. Maybe he's going to do it. You know, step by step, grinding. That's Magnus's hallmark, right? That's he's just grinding. He's a master in the end game. Well, he's a master at all the stages, opening, middle game, and ending. But you know what I say? He plays the ending with the terrifying accuracy, f3. What the heck is that? Don't you just take with a bishop, or I need more tea or coffee? Like bishop f3, no? Well, I guess. Or you play bishop f1. You play bishop f1? What the hell did he play? No, bishop takes f3, exactly. Oh, now that's a cool idea. Magnus should have played rook b8, because if Magnus played rook b8, this kind of stuff wouldn't have happened. It wouldn't have happened. Now, I don't know. Okay, you take, and then rook takes your bishop. Yeah, you could play this, but then rook's going to drop back. Then you take, then knight plays, then the other rook to b7. Okay. Maybe. It's a plan. Better than nothing. But he better just move a bit faster because he's on 3 minutes 40 sec or something. So, well, the heck do you do? What about rook b7 now? Just pinning the rook. Hey, I like rook b7, I think, a little bit more. So you don't have to play what the other guy wants you to play. So I guess rook b7 could be kind of a good move. I guess. Well, why not? What did he play? He didn't play nothing. So bishop took f3, exactly as I said I would play. Now Fabi came with bishop captures h3. I understand that. Notice that allows also some knight idea, knight to g4. That allows that to happen. So we got to be careful here. I still think rook b7 would be a good way to continue because you're actually getting rid of that very dangerous f-file black rook, which again, together with the knight on g4 and things, it could be some f2 unpleasant pressure. So white's point of view, probably rook b7. Probably. You guys can agree or disagree. Hello, Big W. I can't pronounce your usernames. You guys are always so funny with your usernames, man. You make it on purpose so that the streamer can't pronounce your names, for Christ's sake. You can't come with like, you can't do normal stuff, no? Ay, 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 ay. Was about to say the guy's username, man. Oh, queen e3. What is that doing? What's that? Oh. Queen e3 is because now Magnus can take on h3 without stress. G takes h3 and Fabi had just lost. We could investigate after this thing concludes if rook b7 was a better one, but I think this one is quite cool, actually. queen on e3 still keeps an eye on the g5 potentially, so it doesn't allow the black queen to come do all sorts of stuff. That's one thing. So the onus is on Fabi to play now. So what is he gonna do? He better save that bishop whilst he can. But actually, you know something interesting? He could play this, dude. He could play bishop g4. Because if you take, knight's gonna take. I'm gonna tell you something. I don't like that queen e3 Magnus played. I just don't like it very much. I don't know. Maybe there is something I don't see, of course. I'm not Magnus. But I just don't like this late development. So if black plays bishop g5, well, you're not supposed to take. That's for one. So if they play bishop g5, bishop g4, you could play rook b7, for instance. You don't have to take on g4. Right, so bishop g4, I think Fabi gonna play. And then you reply rook b7. So you play it like this. Is it that bad? It's not that bad. I think you can play this. And if bishop takes f3, you're gonna take with the pawn, gf3. No, you take the rook first. Okay, fine. Yeah, there you go. There you go. And rook b7. I absolutely freaking said both moves for Magnus and Fabi. Bishop to g4. You're not crazy to take, but instead you pin the freaking rook on f7, and the knight can't really play after you take here because then you're gonna drop the rook. So cool stuff. Now that getting really sharp. Really sharp. Notice still, guys, the d6 backward weak black pawn. That's so many words you have to pronounce. There are so many words. I hope they mean something. Otherwise, you say a lot of words that don't mean nothing. That's a tragedy. Then you become like Wittgenstein. You don't want to talk anymore. Why would you talk anyway? Aha, the king g7 now protects f7, therefore the knight is back in the business in case white decides to play bishop takes g4. So then again, maybe it's time for you to take with the rook. That's what I think you're supposed to. Rook takes f7, forces black to capture. With the knight, mind you. You can't take with the king because then queen takes h6. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. There you go. Rook f7, knight takes, bishop takes. Ta-da! Now, we've got rook b7 back in business, probably. There you go. But I'm a little bit concerned about rook a1. Hey, I'm predicting all the freaking moves. Rook b7. Now, I'm a little bit concerned with rook a1, I gotta tell you. I am. Then you're gonna have to do some king h2, and then we're gonna have this queen coming over. And guess who's gonna cry? I'm sorry, I'm a little bit concerned, but I think after rook a1, we're gonna see an ASAP emergency rook b1 backwards. Because if you don't do that, you are checkmated by Fabi, and Magnus gonna cry. I mean, you're not gonna see him crying, but that's exactly how he is going to feel. But then again, he's gonna play rook b1. He is going to play rook b1. Certainly. I don't know what Fabi plays though. Well, here's another wizard attacking the rook. Do you do some Nah, you can't do this. You can't play like this. This is nuts. No, probably you're gonna play rook back. Yeah, there you go. Rook b1. The safest way to approach this. We could see this kind of stuff. And sincerely, I don't know what you play. Probably rook bc. I don't know what you do. After rook a3, I'm not sure what you play, but the game gets more and more precipitated and sharp. Very sharp. And boy, the more bullet it gets, the sharper it gets. And it's when people do bad stuff. When including elite super players do crappy moves. That's it, man. Well. Rook b1. Now if rook a3, you tell me what does Magnus play. So what does he play? He play rook c, and then maybe what? I don't know. Maybe it's a lot of maybes here. There you go. Rook a3, rook c1. I did say that. I freaking did say that. I said quite a couple of moves here lately. Absolutely, I did. Now, that queen d8, I don't know why they play it. Maybe he should have kept the queen there. Because the knight couldn't, maybe. Well, heck, did I miss something? Okay, so what's Magnus supposed to play? G3, asking for a friend. You want to stop queen coming to H4. That is the very reason Fabi played queen d8. So if you guys wonder why the hell did he move queen to d8, it's because queen H4. That's the reason. Amongst others. It could be some other secrecy we're not seeing yet. But makes sense to me, queen to H4. So queen to d2, unpinning the knight. The knight is free to go and do nasty stuff. If needed, I think makes sense. Knight is free to go. Queen h4, you reckon? Maybe queen h4, but you okay. So it's getting sharp, you see. And now, guys, we've got bullet chess. Less than a minute, Magnus. Less than a minute, Fabi. We're going to see very sharp moves. Total change of plan. Knight, a queen to b6, so that doesn't allow knight to b5 for sure. 15 seconds for Magnus. I don't even know what the hell to say. Play the freaking knight somewhere. Knight e2, knight g3. What else? Play what? The queen c2? I don't know. I'm along the lines. What, did he lose on time now? I don't think he lost on time. Probably it's not being updated on the screen. Let me refresh the page. Yeah, he moved the freaking queen. Queen b6, sorry, king to h2. Okay. Okay, king to h2. Knight e2? Ah, I know. He wants to play this. That's a bingo. Rook to c2, though. 99.99, we're going to see rook c1 to c2 as per blocking rook b2. And I think we're doing fine here. No, knight to d1. Those funky knight moves, backward funky knight moves, knight d1. It does stop rook b2. We have to admit. I mean, I'll accept that because it's true. If it's true, I accept. If it's not true, I'm not accepting anything. Only but the truth. So queen to d8 back. That means a queen to h4 check. Rook now challenging the black rook. Now, if queen h4, king has to go back on g1, that is. No. We're playing bullet now. I mean, they do bullet. It's just a few seconds. Looks to me 9 sec for Magnus 24 Fabi there. Traded the rooks. Check. Whoa, you got to take what... It's coming something very bad there. You have to take, no? Well, you better take. Queen takes and what? No? Jesus Christ. Is check, you move? Yeah, that's exactly what I said, for Christ's sake. G2 is falling. Why the hell did he play that? He was supposed to, like, take on G3, no? I don't know what to say anymore. Well, I think he did something bad. Now there's a free pawn on the G. If Magnus loses the game, it's because that particular moment. So if queens disappear, if knights are traded, and everything's traded now, no, Magnus crumbles now. He's just struggling now. No, I don't think he plays for a freaking win. I think he just tries to draw, that is, because there is a black pawn on the G file. And it's scary as hell. As soon as everything disappears by the trade, you got a problem. Serious problem with that G pawn. I don't think Magnus should have played queen to e3, which he did. We can verify in the aftermath of the game. Now the black king moves down the board, supporting further advancement of this guy on the G. White king goes away from potential checks and things. And probably trying this, but the black queen stops them. Well, more checks coming, pal. There's more checks coming. You want to bet? We're going to see one of those two checks. Maybe the third way to check. Which one is it? Nah, I like the B, exactly as I depicted here. Queen B7 check. I don't know where you go. I don't know where you play. Out of check. Or do you block? Yeah, exactly. Well, oh Lord. Oh, dude, probably gonna play this and that. Yeah, he gonna go after the knight and keeps the white knight to stop the G1 promotion. Stops it now with knight E2. There is no G, but the black king gonna move down, I guess. They gonna do similarly, man? I guess. I don't know what's the plan, but he gotta be fast here. Nope. He goes to protect the black knight. And he do nothing about that black pawn there. He waits. Check. Oh, he just lost. I think Magnus lost, no? Yes. Is that a draw now? Yeah, that's a draw. That is a draw. They just drew. That's it. Come on, forget about it. So, draw. And we're going to go back to that particular moment. Let me see if that was correct. So, welcome, guys. YouTube, Twitch, Facebookers. This is the moment. Queen E3. This is the moment. So, he played Queen E3 to protect E4. I see. Queen E3 in order to keep this guy up. Because if you take, then they're going to take this. Then they potentially going to take the other pawn too. So you're in serious trouble. That is why Magnus played E3. It ain't checkmate though, but yeah, well. It is what it is. And they drew. Hello, Big Box, Big Boss 67, 68. Yeah, it's good. Thanks for visiting. Thanks for the follow, guys, if you came via TikTok. Thanks for the subscribe if you're visiting via YouTube or Facebook. Do follow indeed if you can, fellas. And probably you can. But the problem is you don't want, which no one can forces you anyway to do what you don't want. Unless it's the people governing. Then they have you do what you don't want to do. Well, that's what is. Well, we got a supreme confirmation that we are facing a draw from a very long time. 92.9, 93.1 in this rapid game. That's phenomenal. Hey, I had 94.5 in a rapid game this August when I played in the Kingston Invitational. And I like to think it wasn't quite the only game in which I had this type of accuracy. That's good. It's very gratifying to see that. So, what did Guki and Gukesh beat Nakamura, who is crying? I should stop asking that. That's such a ridiculous thing. No one is crying. I mean, yeah, you understand what I say. So, Hikaru got toast. He got toast. Marmite. He attacks the bishop on c3. Very active. Pin. Pin. Everybody's pinning nowadays. You can't have a single game without a pin. Some isolated guys on a7 and c6, that is. Queen to a4. Queen to a4 had to move, because if you didn't move the queen, you were facing this, and you didn't even castle. I don't like white here. I don't like white here, because it's all of a sudden a lot of pressure, and you haven't castled your king, and queen a4 also attacks the bishop. That's kind of like obvious, sort of. Sort of obvious, but you still don't stop the e4. So it is obvious, and I don't know what to tell you. Would the 95 would have been better, you reckon, guys? Hold on a second. Let me ask the TikTokers, because they are the most active ever viewers. Thanks for the Oh, Kenzie, thanks for following the ghost. Cheers, pal. I'm the ghost. So, do you do knight e5 or knight d2? What's wrong with knight e5? Just asking for a friend. Ah, it's something very bad. This is the mother of the blunders, man. Knight e5 is a big blunder because knight takes c3, and when knight takes on c3, queen is being attacked. And I don't know what you do, but the knight had lost the defender, namely the bishop on c3. So that's catastrophical. That is why Hikaru played knight d2. So now we understand a little bit more. Yeah, you had to do this. I don't like white. C6 a bit hanging. He goes for the weaknesses, man. I was wondering if black is supposed to defend c6. I was trying to figure out the defense. But these guys at this level think more aggressive. They think more aggressively in terms of attack. So Gukesh responded with, well, what if I take your b2 pawn? Because if he takes the b2 pawn, guys, then all of a sudden, white is having a serious issue on d2 and whatnot. Checkmate coming. I mean, whoa. So Hikaru drops queen back to protect b2. Queen centralizes itself and probably making space for rooks and such. Bishop away. What? La, la, la. Castles. Ah, yeah, I understand now. Bishop c8 to go over to a6 and attacking. Are you supposed to go e1 or is that, oh yeah, if you played rook d1, black would have played this. So probably you didn't do nothing. Maybe rook c? I don't know. Queen attacked. Oh lord, look at that bishop. How are you going to move that bishop? Well, you kind of ain't. Rook e6 to protect c6, which is double attack by the rook and by the queen. Knight goes f. What's the knight want to do? Not clear. b4 to no longer having a weakness on the b2. Knight g3. I mean, where the heck do you want to go anyway? Ah, you probably want to jump on this fashion. Knight e2, knight d4. I see. Takes and takes and takes. Queen to d2, making space for the other rook to go over to c maybe. Oh lord, you're not going to touch that bishop anytime soon. Look at this monster of a structure. So yeah, good luck with challenging the bishop. This is awful. This is so freaking awful for white. Excellent play, Gukesh Domaraju here. Even if you could take the bishop at some point with the knight, I don't know how, when, how you're gonna do it or stuff like that. Even if you could take the bishop with the knight, black's gonna have two pass pawns, man. He's gonna have two pass pawns. So assuming black allows you to do this kind of stuff, he gonna take with e, and that's such an uncomfortable endgame, which probably is kind of like losing. So he did play knight e2, he did play knight f4, doubling on a c. This is a pain to do. Okay, so he changed mind. He want to jump d4, which is an outpost for the knight. Outpost for the bishop, outpost for the white knight. He tries to keep the knight there, frustrating this and that. Let me just fast forward. There's a lot of happening here. But that pawn is scary as hell. What the hell are you playing, man? Can you freaking take the... No, you can't take the pawn, no? Or something. You can't take the pawn with the knight because you just pin like you kind of lose. Very bad stuff. Queen takes f2. I guess in the last second it happened. And e3 now hanging. And it's just bad. It's just bad. Congrats, Guki. And they have started. Okay, let's have a look on this one now. So previously we watched Magnus Fabi. Amazing stuff. Now let's have a look at Gukesh and Hikaru. Let's see if Guki manages to pull another victory here. That would be cool. That would be cool. So, guys, yes, thanks for following the ghost, for subscribing if it's YouTube. Follow if it's Facebook and TikTok. Do it, fellas, so that you encourage me to coming back and do the stuff. This is unexpected. Blackhead Castle, that makes sense. But what the heck is White doing here? He's like playing like a pioneer or something. He's playing like a pioneer who's a scout, something, or the other way around. Well, I'm not sure what it means, but I'm sure you understand what it means. Push the G, push the H. Okay. What about this guy? Who's what if the knight goes C8, just saying, and then queen attacks H? How exactly are you going to play? I mean, honestly. Sorry, what is actually freaking going on here? So Hikaru played G5. We're gonna check later on if knight C8 would be a better choice. Anyway, G5 by Hikaru. I don't think you should take. If it's something, you should go forward. You mustn't take on G, because after this kind of stuff, actually, you might have sometimes someone open up the door, for Christ's sake. I think it's gonna be me. When I say someone gonna open up the door, probably it's me. So yeah, you gotta wait, fellas, because I have to open up the door. You see, it's only me. Yeah. Okay, be back in a sec, fellas. Well, it was me to open up the door, and now I'm back. And then I'll be gone again. And then I'm coming back again. And let's do this. Let's see Gukesh. And I do need another coffee or tea though. Oh well. Where were we, fellas? Who's what? Ah, they played a couple of. Yes, I did say white better push the pawn rather than take it on G5. That's one of my instincts. I think this is the safest way to play. Yeah, the bishop on A3 is horrible. Streaming, do you want me to turn off the volume? Or? No? Okay. So the bishop on A3 is horrible. The bishop on G7 is horrible as well. So two bad bishops. This guy on C1 has a little bit of a prospect. But when, how, and what you're going to do with that guy, I don't know. We'll see. Step by step, as they say. Step by step. H4, C5, like he kind of understood the idea with B3, bishop A3, and he wants to say you ain't gonna do that. But the question is, doesn't that allow knight to B5 and attacking D6 and stuff? Well, I mean you can, but knight's gonna play something. You're not gonna take D6, right? They're not gonna allow you to take D6. I mean, you could play, but A3 probably for playing B4. I understand. Knight C8. Rook B1. Preparing B4 and breaking through. Probably with a rook or something. Nope, B3 because C4 being attacked first. Right? I thought that maybe Queen E2 or Queen D3 or something. Anyway, we'll see. It's a little bit blocked on the king side. Queen F6. They ain't do nothing. That's not gonna do nothing. This one smells like a draw. It just smells like a draw. It doesn't smell like Teen Spirit. It smells like a draw. Rook FC8. Like what he wants to open. He don't want to open nothing. It's just a way to stop white from playing B4. because after this and this, knight and rook attack c4 twice. That's the reason behind rook f to c8. If it wasn't obvious, I think this is exactly the reason why Hikaru played it. That's why he did it. Rook f c8, and you can't do b, because after queen played e2, queen actually was defending c4. So then b4 was possible. But after rook f c8, b4 not possible anymore. So you need to do something else, like I don't know what. Probably you need to still play bishop d2, some rook to c, and then you're gonna go back to the old plan with b4 if you still want to do it or something. But probably you have to play knight b5 first or something. Anyway, bang, boom, that makes a lot of sense, because you're gonna be a little bit of a intention here, and you're gonna be some concrete about A and B files. They're gonna push those pawns, so at least they'll try. Because on the king side, it's, I think, a little bit stuck. There is some idea with king g2, maybe rook h, and you try do something. I'm not sure. I'm just saying, maybe there is something there. Also, a lot of shuffling here on the second and third rank for whites. I wonder. Yeah, that take like a lot of moves. Probably a draw, but we'll see. We'll see. It's getting a little bit close, a little bit positional now. Well, hello, warrior. Ex offical. Yeah. Yes, thank you, Larry. Thanks for following the ghost, for subscribing if it's a YouTube. Rook fc8. Well, shall we have a look quickly at Magnus? Guys, I'm going to go back and watch Gukesh and Hikaru for sure. Let's have a look at this, guys, now. G5. That looks a little bit more exciting, I think. Definitely more exciting than the previous game. I mean, yeah. The reason for G5, I was wondering why, but I understand, I think, is because you need to stop knight h4 and knight f5, which I think is a problem if you allow knight h4. So G5 wants to stop that. And it could be more. But amongst others, immediate reason probably is this. Probably. I hope I'm not wrong. I don't think this one gonna be a draw. Fabi's turn. Do you do G or is just too much? I'm not sure if you do G here. Do you play rook? I mean, it's good the knight. I guess from white's point of view, you don't want to have the black knight on f4. It's just too much. Maybe it's worth playing g3, just send knight away. It's too much for that knight. It just takes away some squares from you. So g3, send the black knight away, and then you see what you do with the rooks and something. Maybe. So that black knight has to go away. I think so. Is there any way for white to think about opening up the G file somehow? It's worth trying. What do you do with the rook on a1 anyway? Apart from trading off, which black would say thank you very much. If you do rook a d1, then rook takes, then queen takes, then rook plays d8, attacking you again. That doesn't look good. I hate it. So rather than playing rook a d1, which I think is bad for white, maybe better chance for rook a to g. So you then figure out a way to open up the G file somehow. G3H4, something like this. But get the rook first to G1. Maybe rook a to G1 before any G3. So maybe this. Probably knight on B6 has to stay there for a very long time. Then towards the end, maybe you're going to play knight C4 and try something about E5 and things. But for the time being, as priority moves, I guess, rook a to g1, and then figure out some g opening. You're gonna tell me how do you think this one is achievable for white? Hello, my friend Ernest. How's it going, brother? Good to see you. Long time no seen. Crazy days, challenges, one after another. It's a sort of a blessing I'm able to do this kind of stuff now. We'll see. We'll see. So yeah, now Fabi goes low on time a bit. Queen c4. Really? Like Queen c4? Amongst all the moves and all the stuff, Queen to c4. Why? Why, man? Why Queen to c4? Does he want to play Queen c5 and attack that e5 pawn or something? What the heck is Queen c4 actually doing here? What's he want to do? Sorry, guys, it's just so not clear the intention behind Queen to c4. What is that doing? I mean, stopping knight d3? You may say that Queen c4 would not allow knight d3. You would say that. Okay, they played in quick sequence now. g4 attacking knight. Knight goes to h4 now. You bet that they're going to do knight f5, right? I'm not sure about the last stuff that happened. Play by Magnus looks like Fabi is doing okay. Is doing doing a little bit better than okay. After knight f5 and rook to g3, looks like Magnus likes to help his opponent. He changed his ideology. What if I help my opponent? He's so generous. What the heck is this? Okay, attacks f2. Well, that is true. Attacks f2. That is true. But then rook, maybe f1? For a starter, rook f1. You kind of like have to, I guess. Or maybe, just maybe, there is rook g3? Wait a minute. He played rook a2. Okay, okay. To trade off sort of. But I think black gonna play rook to d8, the other rook, no? There is a very fat chance he's gonna play rook e to d8. Ready to replace the black rook on d2 if that were to be the case. Rook e to d8. I think so. I think. Maybe. This is so sharp. And I think it's a bit more exciting than the other game in between Gukesh and Hikaru. This one is more exciting now. Is a bit more exciting. I mean, not over exciting, just a little bit more exciting. Rook a2. What is Magnusito gonna play? Should you entertain some? Nah, you can't. This is a disaster. Or maybe take an h3? No. Rook d8. I did say it, just I would have played it maybe in the first seconds, whereas Magnus took like almost a minute or something. I mean, he wanted to make sure. I'm just a bystander. I have no skin in the game. I can say all sorts of things that don't mean nothing, but these guys actually lose money if they play badly. So yeah. But yeah, rook e d8 made sense for me, and I did say that's what I would consider playing with black. Ready to replace. Knight f5. We discussed about this ages ago. And we accepted that actually it's a great idea. Knight to f5. And let me tell you something else. Knight to f5 attacks h6. And rook g3 is coming. Is absolutely coming. If black takes a2, queen's gonna take. Certainly. Still pressure on f7 and stuff. And by the looks of it, white is going to win, I think. I don't know what these engines would say, but as a human watching this, I feel very confident about white's chances to win and capitalize here. Well, well, well. Hello, Sam. Thanks for stopping by, fellas. My dear TikTokers. You guys, I think, are the most active amongst the platform's users. Guys on Twitch, they barely exist because Twitch normally places me on the last page, on the 5,000 page of the live stream. So no one's going to find it ever. Unless my subscribers. And yeah, maybe. Hey, took. Yes, of course. Rook takes a2, queen takes a2. King goes away from the g file, which is kind of burning and also defending h6. So let's put it this way. King to h7 actually defends h6. Let's be very honest about it. That's what it is. And of course, going away from the g file, which rook's going to move anyway. Probably. No? Probably, yeah. Oh, yeah. And you totally don't want to take on g4 due to knight to g4, and the game is over right then there. You can't touch the g-pawn, but you could definitely play some rook g3, like now, because if they taken something, we always have this, and that's, I think, the end of. Very, very dangerous. Very, very dangerous here. And very sharp. Good stuff. We are just bystanders. Actually, they actually make a nice buck playing this game. Okay. Okay. Man, that's just feels... I thought that rook g3 is the answer. h4? Now, what the hell did he play h4? Why h4? I mean, was it rook g3 so bad? How bad was rook g3? Knight e4. Oh, sugar. Yeah, but you take. So rook g3, knight e4. Rook takes g4. I think this is very freaking sharp, man. You've got g7 coming. Yeah, there is also this. I agree. Look, this is crazy sharp. h4 by Fabi. I don't know what to say just yet. I think it's very difficult to objectively assess what these guys are doing. I mean, we do see a couple of ideas for sure. But h4, I don't know what to say about h4. Maybe. It's like you kind of like do nothing and wait and see what the other guy plays. Something like that. That's my feeling about h3 to h4 play by Fabi. It's like he waits to see Magnus. Oh, let's see what Magnus plays. I don't know. Maybe rook g3 was the answer. Who knows? Rook d. Ooh, knight c4. Immediately after rook d, knight c. Keeps an eye on this guy. This is crazy sharp. This is so sharp. Very sharp. Oh, Lord, I know why. He wants to take regardless because if black queen takes, you take on f7, for Christ's sake. Knight takes, and if queen takes, you're going to take on f7. And checkmate. Oh, Lord, that's what it is. Rook d8, a knight to c4 to take on e5. So that's the idea. Knight takes c5, queen takes c5, queen takes f, and something like checkmate, rook g3 in the end. Kind of like you take on e5, no? You take on e5, no? Queen takes check. That's it. You take on e5 now. Yeah, you are like in a forever pin, but you're threatening queen f7 anyway. So, Jesus Christ, he found queen e2, attacks the rook, and then, well, attacks the rook, first thing first. Okay, he changed ideas. Maybe also he looks at queen e3 and this. Okay, you take with this, and I think it's a nice, what they would call a nice fortress. No, he takes the rook first, knight's arm priest. He gonna take. Oh, he took on e4. Can you do this? Oh my lord, that's a discovered check coming. That's a discovered check. And it's something like f3. Okay, what the heck do you play, man? Do you play knight e? I don't know. Do you play g4? What do you play? Do you play knight g3? Pressure on the pin piece and then f3? I think knight, yes, knight g3. Yes, exactly what I thought. Boop. But the h4 is... Yeah. What do you play, man? You take, no? I don't know. This is so freaking sharp. What do you play? Do you play knight f3? I don't think it's bad knight f, but yes, knight f3. Yeah. That's what I said I would play. That's what Fabi played. But now I don't know. Do you do this? No, he played knight f1. You gotta be fast, man. Now they do bullet. It's that stage in the bullet game that it's exciting, but you don't want to have it very often because people blunder right in these moments. Checkmate on g2, by the way. Well, if the knight on e3 were to not be there, but it is. So, yeah, you better keep the knight on e3 because you're getting in trouble. Knight attacks the queen. Probably this and this kind of stuff. Yes, queen d1 by Fabi. Yes, and probably this. He stops it, queen g7, but you can still go queen d8, no? Queen d8. Check. Oh, queen f3. Queen f3, man. Oh, come on. Queen f3 was the stuff there. Check. Pawn was pinned. You couldn't have taken. Ay. So what? Queen h4. Oh, okay. Yeah, people play bad stuff in the last seconds. As long as you're a human, you're gonna play sloppy moves in the last seconds, no matter what. Probably we're gonna see some knight pressure on h6 and stuff. Probably. That's what I would go for. No. What the heck is that? Ah, knight takes and queen takes the other knight. Oh, yo. Sick. White had won. No, he didn't. But there is an extra pawn for Magnus on f5. So that's got to be something. Is Magnus going to win now because he got an extra pawn? He might. He might win. What's that sick move, c5? Gee, man. Yeah, thanks for following the ghost and subscribing, guys. If you can, please do it indeed. b6, shutting off everything. The king probably wants to come to f4, but Magnus says no. Okay, but still up. Okay, Magnus wins it. Now Magnus wins it. Unless you find some ways to get quickly with the knight and take on b7, but how? Like, how do you do it? Knight d5, like what? Come on, man. Now he attacks the c4 and it's gonna come down on this guy. No, Magnus wins it, no? He wins it, man. He's gonna force the white king to stay miles away to stop this guy and he's gonna attack exactly. He could play this, I guess. Oh, he dropped the pawn. Okay. Well, this guy's gonna be captured now. Look, guys, I think Black's winning. He gonna lose now the pawns. Fabi gonna kill those guys from behind. Yes. Gone. Magnus loses it now. I think we can just say that. Of course. That's it. Goodbye. He gonna eat all the freaking pawns. King takes b6 and Magnus gonna resign. That's it. That's it. He should resign. Goodbye. Goodbye. Black's winning. He probably gonna resign now. Any second. He should have resigned, but yeah, that's just fabulous. Fabulous, fabulous. Black is winning. Fabulous. Wow. So it's already, so I think from this point onwards, guys, the extra black pawn on the F file makes all the difference. So I think now it's a big minus. And exactly the guy on the reddened square is the very reason for which black, aka Magnus here, won. That's why the Dark Knight won the game, because of the F pawn. That is why. Yeah, well, of course, we got to go back. Yes, Larry. Thank you, Davis. Cheers, guys. Yeah. Let me see if any other miss. Look, the this nights this massive headaches with the nights. I got dizzy, man. I'm telling you, those pesky nights just drive me crazy. I wonder here if better move for Fabi would have been Queen F3. So I drew an arrow here in those last seconds, and I was thinking maybe Queen F3 better move to attack two knights at the same time. But then again, I think you lose the knight on e5, no? So Queen F3, Queen takes. What do you do? It's difficult. Very difficult. What about a check on d8? Check on d8 first. So first you do check. Then you're going to play some king h7, right? And then maybe you play this knight d7. Let's find out. It says that freaking white wins, man, including queen d8 that I said. Queen f3 is a blunder. Forget about this. Knight 5 to g4 would have been the winning move, including queen d8 that I said. I said queen d8 I would play. I did say. I don't think I would have played what Fabi played. But queen d8 probably was an idea. I'm not sure about the... So what did Fabi do? Knight f3. Well, the game just equalized. That's it. Whatever advantage he had, it vanished after knight f3. That's it. It just vanished. And then he messed up something with the pawns and all. There's knight h3. There is, the pawn is pinned. You have to move. It's just ugly. So he lost it here. Well, I mean, he equalized here, and because it's the last seconds, that's that. He just lost it here. Yes. Well, guys, what the heck is going on around? Wait a minute. They say on the screen round 1 to 3 today. Tomorrow round 4 to 6. What the heck happened? Do they play today more than announced? 27th October. I mean, like today, no? Round number 5. I might have time to go grab myself a coffee or a tea, or otherwise I'm gonna sleep during the live stream, which would be a catastrophical live stream if I were to do that. Sleeping during the live stream, that would be a catastrophe. That would be. My students gonna laugh at me, man. I mean, they laugh anyway at me, but that would be something I better not do. Hey, the eternal rivalry here. There you go, Magnus and Hikaru, the eternal antagonists. How do you say? I mean, still the same thing. These guys will be battling in this life and the life after. But probably there is no life after. But I mean, just saying, if there were, they will be just keep playing. That's true, guys. Like sort of like Fisher Spassky. Sort of like this, Magnus Hikaru, sort of like Fisher Spassky, like, yeah, that kind of friendship and rivalry and maybe. I mean, I don't know how much of a friendship, but there is rivalry for sure. There is rivalry for sure. Fabi Guki, that's another phenomenal rapid game that we should be covering, guys. So I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to go get myself a coffee, though, or a tea or something. Because I don't know if I can do it without. And I think I'm going to try and cover this until I can. I was about to say something else, but it's good to not saying it. So let's just try be formal. Magnus White, Hikaru. Okay, I'm gonna go do that coffee whilst I can. They haven't started yet, so yeah. Okay. So you guys do similarly get your Irish coffees and let's do the next round. Be back in a sec, fellas. Okay. Okay. Let's see if they started now. Oh, there's no image. There's no cam. Well, who needs the cam when you got a sound? But anyway, they say it's good with the cam too, so okay, fine. Let's just do this. Did they move? No, they haven't. So I think they're gonna play the 5th round. I think. Okay, now that's very nice fixture here. Let me see the results. Magnus 3 points, Gookie 2. What a tough company here. What a tough tournament. Gookie 2 points. That's good. That's good. Let's see. Let's see. We're going to try cover them both. Okay, that's the lost coffee. The last and the lost one. Well, cheers, guys. Is they going to move? I don't see nothing. So, time for a quick puzzle then. Okay, let's do a puzzle. Another official puzzle. Not daily puzzle though. Just normal puzzle. I hope not overly difficult puzzle. What am I even talking about? The G2 is screaming to be captured. The question is, if we take with the rook or if we take with the bishop. If we take with the rook, that would be a check. And king has to go. But then don't forget, after we play the rook God knows where, knight takes the bishop. So this is an important idea. So that being said, perhaps, just perhaps, we have to investigate bishop take g2. Perhaps we have to look at bishop take g2. I know it's very, very compelling to go rook g, but then again, is there, if there's anything here, it has to do with bishop g2. If there is something with the other bishop on f8 to be played, that's just too crazy. I think bishop g2, that should be the winning sequence. Bishop g2, not rook g2. Am I correct, guys? Let me know if you think it's the correct one. So I'm going to play it, and then I'm going to check on Magnus and Hikaru if they still play this evening, round number 5. If I read that one correctly. Anyway. So bishop g2, no? What else is here? It's not clear, but I'll go with this. Please tell me. Oh, he messed it up now again. The heck are we supposed to play? Rook? Why? A rook, king h1, no? Oh, and then you take f2, and then they take, and then you take the other rook. Oh, come on. Oh, no. Yeah, well, it's actually this, I guess. No, then they play here. Then what? Then you take the... No, whoa. Wait a minute. Which way do I go? Oh, no, it's actually rook g1. It's rook g1, king takes, and rook g8. How did I not... How didn't I see it? It's rook g1, king takes, rook g8, and game over. And that was a freaking pattern that I think I've done it in the past, but I just forgotten. I've just forgotten rook G. Yeah, brilliant. My back. I should have seen this. King takes and rook G8 and checkmate. Ay, 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 ay. That's a shame. Okay, back to. Man, do they play this evening or not? I mean, do they do the round number 5? Schedule. According to their own scheduling times, looks like they shouldn't have played the round 4 anyway. So, like, are they gonna do the round 5 now or what? That's what it says on the screen. Round 5, 27 October. Well, I guess we could do another quick puzzle here. Let's hope I'm gonna solve this one. So if you guys want to solve it, just type in your messages and I'm gonna pay attention to. Yeah. So what safe checks have we gotten here? There's a knight to g4 check. No, you can't. It's pinned. Yeah. What else? Let me see. Rook d2. Now that's check. What else? Queen to d5. No, wait a minute. Rook. The king goes. And then what? No, 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 no. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Okay, knight can't move at all. That's just forget about it. So that's that. Can we? Rook d2. King goes God knows where. If we do queen d2, they just get king g1 or something. Yeah, but then we take the rook checkmate. So after queen d2, they must block with the rook. Yeah, and then you could play queen over to f4, amongst others. So, or maybe queen to d4, so that you don't allow king g1. True. So again, bang, boom, boof. Very interesting. So then they go f1. Yeah, they can. Then we're going to do something like this. And if they go here, we've got rook on the back rank checkmate, right? I mean, almost. But I think that wins it, of course. Queen d2, rook e2, queen to f4 check. I hope I covered everything. And if they play king to e1, I'm going to go queen c1. But then what do we do? Just repetition? These are very, very subtle and tricky, I'd say. Is there any other move order apart from queen d2? So if you got better ideas, guys, please type them down. Thanks for the follow. Thanks for the subscribe. I'm going to go back and check on Magnus and Nakamura if they started. If not, hey, we're going to try to do this one. Queen d2. I think queen d2, no? Okay, what else is here? I think makes sense. Queen d2 is quite of a strong move here. It's very strong, queen d2. I'm checking the king. The king can't go away because I take the rook. I mean, if they go g1, they just get checkmated, right? Oh, Lord, there's another mistake. What the fuck was it? Queen c2. Queen d2. Rook d2. But then they go here. Oh, come on. What the heck was it? This? No, you can't. There's the queen there. This? Then they go here. This? Or this? It could be queen d4? So that they come. Well, they can block anyway. Yeah, but they're not going to push this. So queen d4 then. Yeah, it's queen d4. It's not queen d2. It's queen d4 because it's got to be queen d4. You don't allow king g1. You could play queen f1 afterwards. So no, Oh, sugar. Not queen d4, not queen d2. What the hell are you talking about? Rook d2. Oh, yeah, but then you're going to... Okay, well. Just let me... Yeah, okay. Queen to d now. Queen to d. Queen to d. Queen to d. What is? So rook d1 now. If they block, then queen to d3. Yeah, well. So after this block here, you do queen to d3, and you're doing very well. And they play this. Then you got this, game over. Okay, let's see if Magnus started. And yes, they did. Yes. Okay. Okay, let's have a look at this one. Round number 5. I thought it's going to happen tomorrow, but actually it's happening now. Okay, let's look at this one. Where were we? We were right here, as always. B5, not like always, but yeah. B5. Queen's pawn. So they played the D4. Well, everybody castled. Let me have a quick look. Maybe it's a King's Gambit on the other game. No, of course it's not a King's Gambit. They aren't that crazy. Knight to D4. Which if you take, they're going to take back with a bishop, and then you're going to have a problem with that guy here. Survivable, but you don't want to survive. You want to thrive and play better than just survive, I guess. Bishop e3, of course. D6, freeing up the C8. Some activity, whatever. Not rushing it here. This guy is defended. You could take it with the bishop. If they take with a pawn, you're going to move the knight somewhere. So you could take now on d4 if you want to. Then they're going to block their own bishop. But for how long? Because probably they're going to open up after this guy's move. Castle short. It's good to castle, always. You got to be careful about queen d2 due to knight b3. So you got to be careful with that stuff. So maybe some rook and then for this kind of stuff. So rook b, so that you prevent a knight b3, and then maybe queen d2, and you have a battery on h6, maybe. Just saying, maybe. There is a chance. Rook b1, I think it's a good idea anyway. Whether you defend against knight b3, or because you want to play some b5 at some point. So I guess so. Going with the king to h2. Probably just in case if you're dreaming about some f open up, maybe. That gives you a little bit of security for the king, moving away from this nasty bishop or knight takings and checks in this. So king to h2. And let's see what happens. What do you do with the bishop? What does black play with the bishop? Probably just bishop e6 for the time being. Anyway, b5 being played. White's turn. As per white, I don't know, do you have to react to b5? He played f4, which I think I did say. You do want to open up the f, of course. There's still a fun... No, that doesn't work. It's a disaster. So you can't do this. Knight f3, it's just losing the game immediately. Okay, let's see what Guki plays here. What is Gukish gonna do here? Bishop e6. Trying to put some pressure on the c4. Maybe. It's an idea, at least to develop. But after bishop e6, there is f5. You have to go back. That's just awful. Therefore, bishop e7? Still, I don't like it. Maybe you take? Yeah. And Fabi gonna say thank you after knight takes f4, I suppose. No, I don't think you take. What do you do? What do you do? Do you play pawn? Which pawn? I'm sure that's a question that actually Gukesh asks himself as well. Otherwise, he would have moved. That's move number 14. F4, the last move by white. So, that's quite a thing. If he had prepared this, probably he would have moved already. So, he's trying to figure out something. Well, we'll see what he plays. Bishop to g4. Jesus Christ. He came up with this. H takes and knight takes, checks this and that. Oh, Lord, that's a nice one. Hey, that's a freaking move. I absolutely love bishop g4. H takes g, knight takes g4, check, and then bishop is gone, and then the knight attacks queen and rook and everything. What a move, eh? What a move by this guy, Gukesh. What a freaking move he found. Bishop g4, move number 14. That probably deserves a video or something. Let's drink to that. Cheers to bishop g4. What a move. Now, I don't know if it's the engine stop move or something, but definitely it's so psychological. It is very, very psychological. Bishop g4. Whoa. What a move. Now, I would just take the knight on d4 straight away with a bishop, I think. It's just too much pressure on this guy and stuff. So I think I'd seriously think about removing the black knight on d4. You have to take that guy off, like now. You have to. Then they're going to take with tempo. True. And then you're going to have to move the white knight on c3. Probably going to go knight b1. And black has time to decide what to do. But nonetheless, the bishop g4 is an exceptionally psychological move. And probably it is very accurate as well. I absolutely love it. I don't know if you guys like it, but I think it's a great move to do. Wow. Oh, bishop b, exactly what I said I'd do. Bishop takes d4. The pressure is just a tiny bit too much. It's a tad too much. Bishop takes d4. Now, pawn takes d4 and knight b1, logically, of course. And now Guki has to decide what to do with the bishop. You can't stay with the bishop no more, I guess. I guess you have to either take or go back or something. Going back means bishop d7? I guess. I don't know. If you take, white's going to take straight away. The heck? Jesus Christ, can you believe this guy? Man, what the fuck? Wow. What the heck is he playing? I think Fabi's actually reeling from the last move, and now he just has to face another one. Jesus Christ. So practically you take, knight takes check, you're going to move whatever you're going to move. Knight's going to jump here, queen's going to have to move, and then this pawn moves again. I mean, this is really so freaking unexpected and gorgeous at the same time. Congrats to Gukesh for finding this sickening sequence. Jesus Christ. So he still gives up on that bishop if you really want to take it, followed by knight to e3. And then some c3 Probably, very, very likely. Man, look at the mess he created. I'll tell you something, this is so psychological, and I think it bears fruit now because he makes Fabi actually thinks a little bit more. I'll tell you something. This is actually great, and I love it. I do. It's just great. Unbelievable. I love this game. I think definitely maybe given some, I mean, time permitting, tomorrow I think I will do a video for this. I love it. Bishop g4, and then b takes c4. He doesn't even bother withdrawing the bishop to whatever safety might be. I mean, I would have probably played bishop d7, but not Gukesh, and that's a great way to play chess. Now, yeah, the bishop on a7 is a bit like a bad bishop, but it won't be bad for long, I guess. Okay, it's fine, I guess. This thing is a little bit scary because it diminishes the knight's activity. Like, where exactly you're going to play your knight on b1. After c3, if you go for h takes g4, knight takes g4 check, you move knight e3, move queen d2, and c3 attacking queen of tempo, where exactly you're supposed, how do you get your piece movement on the second rank, the knight on b1, that is, where exactly you're going to get that knight? How? On what square? What exactly you're going to play? What square would you be vacating for the knight on b1? Because you ain't got no more squares. So I think this game is spectacular. This position is just great. Takes. So he didn't take the bishop. He took on c4. Rook goes now on the semi-open file. Takes the bishop in the end. Knight takes, check the king. And knight e3. You want to bet? That's exactly what Guki going to play. Of course he's going to play knight e3. Of course. No? Or is he does he have anything else? Like, do you think that maybe going to push the pawn? Just, no. You play knight e3 here, pal. Is knight e3, queen going to move somewhere? Oh, my lord. He actually wants to play this for this. Look, the way that Gukesh conducted himself in the last moves, it's a shocker for me. I mean, I didn't expect like 2-3 moves from Gukesh being played like this, but they look amazing. Just looks amazing stuff. I'll tell you more. Do you know what I think is the stuff with the queen f6? Forget about the rook on a1. That's ridiculous. I think you want to do this kind of stuff. Queen g6, queen h5, and you have a big problem here. That's the reason. Queen f6 has nothing to do with the rook a1 per se. He want to go queen at g6 and queen h5. This is big trouble here. This is very big trouble. And you have to defend against it now somehow. Probably you're going to play f5. But if you play f5, I think, yeah, you have to. You ain't going to be stopping this kind of stuff anyway. Jesus, what a mess of a freaking middle game. Spectacular by Guki. Amazing stuff Gukesh played. What a lovely tactics. The hell he came up with this stuff, it's unbelievable. So it's a multi-threat. Queen f6, it's a multi-threat move. And it's so freaking time consuming for Fabi now. He needs to figure out a way. First, you need to stop the checkmate. So you have to figure out stop checkmate. Then he gonna strike with the probably d3. Oh, there you go, queen d3. Now queen to g6. Pal, what the heck are you going to play now? Bishop h, queen is gonna come h5 and king g2. That's the solution he found. I gotta tell you something, it's just, you have to be cool as a cucumber to play this stuff. You gotta be so cool. Actually, if you go, you're still falling into this kind of stuff. It ain't over, man. Probably knight g1. So if this thing happens, I guess knight g1. Because you can't play king g2 due to knight e3, which is horrible anyway. My God. Ah. So queen h5, knight g1 is a must. You don't do king g2, right? Gee, that's a sick thing there. Wow. Oh, come on. This game is spectacular. The most beautiful day in this clutch chess. I think this is the most beautiful game these rounds and this evening in particular. I'm not sure if f5 previously for white would have worked better or not. I'm not sure. But this is so spectacular. Queen h5, knight g1. Jesus Christ. Does he always have to play something that people didn't expect? Look at that freaking move. Rook takes c4. More pressure. More and more increasing pressure. Increasing freaking pressure everywhere. He's gonna double up the rooks on the e file. He is freaking killing it. He didn't even act on the h file to get the queen on the h. He doubled up the rooks on the e file. Now, are we gonna see knight d2? Like, maybe. This is so beautiful. So maybe knight d2. Then black has to move rook, right? I think. What are you talking about? It's rook d... Oh my God, did you guys see that? So if white knight plays knight b1 to d2, black's going to play immediately rook e3. Or he takes. I'm not sure, but this one can be responded probably like this. Probably like this. Knight d2, some rook e3 is very likely, if not something else. And after rook e3, queen has to move. I don't even know where you move the queen. Oh, wait a minute. Rook e3 and... Wait, whoa. This is so sick. Wait a minute. Knight d2. Rook can take eventually because queens attack each other. So white queen has to take. Then you do check. And then you take the queen. Oh, no. No. Yes. That's that. So I'll tell you again, fellas. Knight b1, d2, you would say attack the rook and stuff, right? Well, okay. Rook takes the knight. And white, if white takes the black queen, they're done because of the rook h2. What if they take the, what if queen takes the rook, though? Oh, we got this. No? Oh, my God. So if knight e2, what's black supposed to do? No, you still play rook e3. No, you take the knight? Because if you take the knight... Oh, come on. Is this a mouse slip? What the... No, he took the bishop. Queen takes the... My God, this is so freaking... Is the pawn moved down now? Check. Oh, Lord. What do you play, man? You're going to play rook f2? Like... No, I mean, you could also play c5. This is just too much for under a minute game. It's just too much. And Gukesh is way faster. I think Fabi spent a great deal of minutes because it was so difficult to evaluate this one accurately. It was very difficult. There's so many things. And it's not even clear, not even now. If you play c5, black's going to take. This is horrendous. And then they take, and if you take... Yeah, so he plays c5, but now black's going to take, for sure. Black's going to take e2. First thing first. Man, this is horrible for white. I think Fabi either gets flagged or he just loses. He might get flagged, though, right? 17 seconds. It's good they've got the, what, 5-sec increment or 10? 10-5. I think it's 5 sec increment. What an amazing game by Gukesh Domoraju. This round number 5. Okay, we have to thoroughly try to analyze it at some point. It's just unbelievable. Well, D takes C2. D3 takes C2, no? Of course, D takes. Is there anything else? Queen takes then you could do check, then you take, then... No, wait. Just wait a minute. So, you take because you force white to take, right? Yes. That's for sure. 16 sec, 15 sec now for white. Queen takes. You have to. Yes. And now you're exactly right. D takes. Take, check. This is check, man. You take on B4. Discover check on the king. And then you have to block with the rook, that is. Oh my god, check by Guki. He blocked. Now what do you do with the queen? Do you take? Which waters down the attack, or you go somewhere else? I don't know where. G4, H, G, where do you go? Probably G in order to play this stuff eventually and then get some rook super fast in action. You could take the rook later on. You don't need to take the rook now. So Queen G4, no? Queen G4. But maybe Queen D7 so you stop the knight from developing. Ah. I'll tell you something, guys. Queen D7 so that the white knight has no means of developing. And Queen to D7. Nah. I think Queen D7 were better. Well, now I think black has to take. Well, you have to take. There's the only chance you got, no? To take the rook back. Queen's gonna take, and I don't know. Hey, that's just difficult now. He's going into time scramble, and this is very uncertain now. He's still down in material. He didn't convert very clearly. He got some pawns here. He got a free pawn. He got another free pawn, pass pawn. So that might be the only compensation. Now, given the fact he's on 12 seconds, it's tough to say. Very tough to say. If you allow Fabi now to move here and develop and stuff, I think you're going to kind of like lose it now. I guess you could do stuff. Yeah, there you go. Rookie attacking. Knight being attacked, but I think you can move the knight somewhere. I don't know. Oh. Okay, then queen takes, if there's anything. Yeah, okay. Where do you go? There's a check here. But no, what happens if they do this? Ah, you take the queen, takes, and you win. Oh my god. Look, I think Gukesh played magnificent chess. That was so creative and unexpected. I'm not sure that works because I think white now is trying to stop these two pawns because this is the only problem you've got. I mean, okay, look, that's not the only problem, but that's the biggest problem for Fabi, which now he chips away at that extra pawns. So, and he's got a knight. There was something there that probably Gukesh didn't quite. Oh my god, if you take actually. My god, this is so sick. If you take the rook, actually, there's queen. There's queen. Do you play like this, or you just simply take the pawn and give away the knight and hope for a draw or something? Oh, this was absolutely spectacular. It's absolutely spectacular. Okay, maybe a draw in the end, but that was so amazing. Yeah, you can't take it. Probably a draw. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it's a draw or not. Black is having, let's see, one extra pawn on the king side. So maybe he'll manage to like convert this advantage step by step, that is. Step by step. I don't know. You play king to F and just push the G and things. There is an extra pawn. The black rook stays incredibly nicely positioned, and when you play this and stuff, the f4 hanging all day. Rook now defending the black king against checks. So probably he's gonna play g. Probably he's gonna play g, no? So still Gukesh pushes for a win. Wasn't g5 the better move? I don't know. We'll see about that. He takes his time. Let's put it this way. He takes his time. Why the hell doesn't he push G? What's wrong with G? What's wrong with the G? Or maybe he wants to push this guy on the 5th rank so that the black rook defends everything. Sort of like, yes. Okay. Is there something about this? Ugh, there's too many questions. There's just so many questions because if you... I think they are within the promotion square. Yeah, so you either play g5 or just forget about it. There's no other counterplay. You need to take advantage of the pawn majority. 3v2. Let's see if that works. Of course. So you try create a pass pawn on the H file. You have to. What else is here? Okay, let's see. We'll see. It's still complicated. It's not clear cut. It's not that crystal clear. Even if you get in the end, you say there's all sorts of checks, back rank checks and things. White's gonna check the heck out of the white king, black king. I mean, of course, check. And Guki has to play fast. 5 seconds, 4 seconds, and less and less and less time. Check. Goes for the a4. It does. But white's going to take 2. Now white's going to take first. So whatever advantage. But they're going to be this. Yeah, but then more checks and stuff. This is so not done. It's so not fit. Yeah, okay. King H, you played the king. Rook has to check you. And then what do you do, man? I mean, Fabi not going to let you just checkmate, Fabi. I mean, the rook is going to check your king. Oh, Lord. Smells like a checkmate, but no. Because if you play this, then this guy's going to run. So you better take the pawn now. Check. Take the pawn. What the heck did they do? Oh, that's it. Black's winning. Oh, my God. What a master stroke. What a master stroke. What a phenomenal way to play. That's it. Black's winning. Oh, lordy. 92% accuracy. Let me go to the very stuff. Man, that bishop g4 was a shocking move. That bishop, oh my God, wait a minute. That bishop g4 was a completely out of the freaking blue stuff. That bishop g4 was so psychological. It doesn't even, it's not on the screen. It's not even on the screen. I was saying some pathetic bishop e6 and stuff, but that just, it's not a blunder, and it poses for white trouble. You gotta think a great deal. Bishop d4, I did say. Knight b1, I said that too. And this is the second shocker. B takes c4, the second shocker. Perfectly balanced if you react nicely, but we are humans after all. Rook to e, takes, moves. Queen f6, what a choice. Still white is doing better, but the psychology of the position is huge. This is psychological chess. This is exactly the stuff that takes a lot of time and you're getting panicked and all. Again, queen to d3. What would have been better here? Knight d2. I did say knight d2. Then d3 and then knight to g1. Okay. Well, good luck finding got this in 5 minutes with all this sharp positioning. Queen g6. I did say that too. And my God, rook takes c4. Again, sort of equal. Queen takes c4. Check. And now it looks like a draw, but my God. It's just too much. It's very time consuming. It's so problematic. Looks like 0.00 as you could very well see, guys, but that was a blunder. Actually, knight d4 was the freaking move to just stay in the game. Rook f2 is a catastrophe, c5 a catastrophe. So probably everything stemmed from this one. Check, queen takes, takes, queen g2, desperado, check. Rook f2, queen d7 I said here. Queen e6. Is queen d7 a catastrophe? So queen g4, I did say about queen g4 because we're looking at this. But I thought that maybe queen d7 takes away d2 from the knight. Let me just play it. Nah, you're still winning. Nah, you're still winning. My man, what a game. What a freaking phenomenal game. Minus 0.40. So, but drawish E. Well. Knight to c3, the only move to play here. I mean, the best move for white to play. Still a bit of an advantage for black. But gee, man. And now black is killing it. I think it was way too psychological. That took a toll on Fabi's accuracy. It did take a toll on Fabi's accuracy. It was way too psychological. It was so difficult. Amazing stuff, man. Amazing stuff, dude. What a freaking game. All right, so guys, we're going to call it a day for the time being. I think we're going to do another one tomorrow, or because tomorrow we've got also this guy's playing the clutch chess, Carlsen Nakamura, Fabi Guki. And that's it. Thanks for being guys here. Don't forget to follow, please. Follow the ghost and subscribe and all. And see you fellas tomorrow. Cheers.